As we wrap up this semester of New Media, New Literacies, I thought I'd start my presentation as we started the semester with a little bit of humor.
I'm going to tell you how I explain what a Chromebook is to them. Imagine a laptop, but broken. I'm going to tell you how.
As everyone's aware, since the pandemic, there has been an increase exponentially in the amount of digital tools, Chromebooks, etc., that we are using in classrooms as early as the preschool level. I tried to take a look with my research in how we could get the benefits, including engagement with students, collaboration, feedback, creativity, agency, without eroding important traditional literacy skills like reading deeply, spelling correctly, and what are the benefits that are being lost by no longer writing by hand. This screen just shows you some information about the digital shifts in education and how much more time on screens our students are spending. Most teens have smartphones, and we're using more and more digital reading and text in classrooms. Unfortunately, the extensive use of these digital tools hasn't resulted in demonstrable success across the board. I looked at standardized reading scores. I also looked at many studies that talked about the importance of handwriting and how it activates different parts of the brain. And each of the authors that I've read have commented on the limited research that's available on whether such digital practices are really effective at enhancing young children's language and literacy, for example. Therefore, my recommendation is that educators and administrators should be wary of using new media to increase student engagement without simultaneously maintaining traditional efforts in developing and modeling reading, writing, and spelling. As far as reading, national reading scores have not demonstrated improvement with all this introduction of new technology, and mounting evidence shows, in fact, that scores are stuck at historic lows, in fact, matching scores from the 1970s, for example. Many studies show the importance of handwriting in strengthening students' abilities to remember, fostering deep thought, activating certain areas of the brain important for learning. And again, there's just limited rigorous evidence on where digital technology is actually improving gains in child learning and development. So these technologies should complement, not replace, evidence-based teaching practices and have to be carefully evaluated for their effectiveness, usability, and accessibility before such widespread use in the classroom. Some reasons for the decline in reading stamina: more skimming, less attention to detail, and hyperlinked thinking. Here's a look at the NAEP reading scores that declined in 2022 and now match scores from 30 years ago. As handwriting vanishes, what are we losing? One of the studies that I read was a Vandermeer study from 2023, where they used both functional MRIs and behavioral research and concluded that handwriting activates more neural regions than typing, for example. Why does this matter? Let's take a look.
In this study, researchers had students either write, draw, or type a word. They found that the regions of the brain associated with memory and encoding new information were synchronized when participants undertook writing or drawing, but crucially, those regions of the brains were desynchronized when participants used a keyboard. The researchers couldn't be clearer. when they concluded that children from an early age must be exposed to handwriting and drawing activities in school. This echoes previous findings within neuroscience, which found that writing letters activated areas in the brain responsible for letter processing. This matters as letter processing is a clear prerequisite for reading.
So if you're looking for more resources like this that are
Useful,
research-based
and easy to use,
then go to the Teachers CPD Academy.
Here's another look that is from a study by Moreno et al. In 2025. They looked specifically at the differences between handwriting and typing and found, again, that handwriting activates a broader network of brain regions that are involved in motor, sensory, and cognitive processing. What does spelling have to do with it? Well, spelling is linked to both reading and handwriting. Less handwriting creates less orthographic memory. Tools like autocorrect and predictive text on both Chromebooks and on phones are preventing students from really having to take on the responsibility for learning how to spell. What can we do to turn the tide? As far as administrators, districts, and states, we need to develop more specific frameworks regarding the best uses of digital tools. Provide more professional development and guidance to teachers on best practices in new media and new literacies. What are they good for? Where are they failing? And support more robust research. For teachers, continue to model handwritten note-taking in class, assign handwritten journaling, and explicitly teach metacognitive reading strategies and explicitly teach online navigational skills when you're using digital reading in your classrooms. Parents can read physical books with their kids, set screen time limits, and encourage letter writing. The goal is not to reject technology and all of its benefits, including collaboration, feedback, agency, but to ensure that students are still mastering the foundational skills of reading, writing, and spelling that technology cannot replace. Thank you so much.